Hey everybody, this is Eric Vokes, Instructional Technology Coordinator for Lampasas ISD. Today we're going to talk about how you can use iOS Pages for Microsoft Office-like productivity on your iPad. Just like Microsoft Word, except even more powerful, especially when you're on an iPad. So we're all on the same page. I just want to show you that I am on iOS 8.1 and I'm using the latest and greatest version of Pages. Some features of the latest and greatest version of Pages may not be available to you if you are using an older version of Pages or you're not on the same operating system. So first thing I'm going to do is go find Pages. So I'm going to just use the Spotlight search and I start typing Pages, pops right up as long as I've got it installed. Okay, so this is a view of all the different documents that I have in the Pages app. You can see if I want to work with any of these in the top right hand corner, I click Edit and I can click on those and I can delete them or copy them in the top left hand corner. If I want to share any of the documents, there are two ways I can do it. I can select the share option in the top left hand corner, and if you've got iCloud set up and configured, most of the students do not, then you can send a link via iCloud, but most people are going to send a copy via email, so that second option down, and then I would just select which one I wanted to send. So I can do it from this view or I can do it from within the file that I'm working on as well. I'm going to just click off of that for right now because we need to create a document. So you can see there are two pluses there on the left hand side. I can click on either one to open up a new document. I'm going to choose, there are a variety of different themes for you to look at and choose from if you want, but since we're just learning, I'm going to just start off with a blank landscape. Okay, so just a quick overview of the top of the app and how it works. If I wanted to go back to see all of my documents, top left hand corner, I would click on that. If I wanted to work with my font, I click on, or anything I've got selected for that matter, it could be a picture. I click on this little format paintbrush up here in the top right hand corner. So this is where I could change the line spacing to double spaced if I want, where I would be able to add bullets, or I can tab over right or left, and this is where I could change the font as well to a different font or a different size, whatever I wanted to do. Okay, so next to that is the plus button, and this is where we add a variety of different things. We can add charts, we can add crazy graphs, kind of swipe through some of these things. We can add different text objects if we want and shapes, and we can add photos. Now when you first open up the photos portion right here, it looks like a little picture, landscape picture. When you click on that and it says can Pages have access to your camera roll, make sure that you say yes. Here, just for demonstration purposes, I said no, and you can see I don't have access to any of my photos because I said no. So there are three areas that Pages has to have access to if you want it to be able to work as it's intended. So what I'm going to do is go over to my settings, and I'm going to go down to Privacy and click on Photos. I'll scroll down and you can see Pages is turned off right now. It doesn't have access to the photos. So I got to turn that on. I'm going to go back. I'm going to also click on two other areas so that the video works and so that I can take pictures within the app too. So first I'm going to click on microphone, make sure Pages is on there. I'll go back and I'm going to click on camera. I'm going to make sure Pages is turned on there. Okay, so now that I've got those things turned on, the app's probably going to just reset for a second because now it has access to those things. And if I click on the plus again, ta-da, all of my photos are right there. So older versions of Pages only gave you the ability to pull in photos from various albums in the camera roll. So photos or videos that you took with the camera app itself. Okay, the latest and greatest version of Pages gives you the ability to take a photo or video right there within the app itself. Okay, I'm going to show you both. Okay, so the next button in the top right hand corner is how you would share from within the file that you're working on itself. Okay, again, the option that you're going to go with if you're going to share it by email would be to send a copy, and we'll do that here in just a second. Lastly, if you click on the wrench, this is how you can change some of the big things like headers, footers, the document setup. Most of the time you don't even need to mess with that. If you want to click on the question mark, it will tell you basically what I just did. Okay, give you some coaching tips. If you need more than coaching tips, one thing I should point out is there's a help section down here underneath the wrench where you can actually look for all kinds of different things within Pages if you need help doing whatever. Okay, and you can search by keyword in order to get that help. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is just add some text. So this is my office. Alright, so I want to add a picture of my office. Okay, so if it's an old version of Pages, what I'd want to do is use my camera. Pretty exciting. Okay, so I've taken the picture, it's in my camera roll. I can double click the home button, go back over to Pages, I click on the little plus, and there's a recently added album that I can use. I could also have scrolled all the way down to the camera roll and it would be in there as well. Let me just go recently added, use the picture of the office, now I click off of there, and you can see that I can resize this by using the little blue dots that are on the outside of it. If I use the bottom right hand corner, it maintains the aspect ratio so it doesn't get all stretched or distorted. What's really nice about Pages is the way Wordwrap works. I can move the picture and the text is going to move around for me. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to place that picture right there. I'm going to press return so I can move that cursor down below it. And now I've got a spot for some more text. Alright, so one nice thing about Pages is like many other apps on the iPad, rather than type it all out, you can enable voice dictation so that you can just speak to the iPad. So to do that, we have to enable it in the settings. So I go over to my settings, I click on General, and then it's under Keyboard and Enable Dictation. I confirm I really want to do that, and I can go back over to Pages, and now you can see I've got a little microphone that popped up right there. Here is a short and sweet video that shows you my boring office, : I press done, and now I didn't even have to type all that stuff. As long as you enunciate your words carefully and clearly, it's usually really accurate. Okay, so my cursor's right there. I'm going to press return, drop it down a little bit. Now I'm going to click on the plus to add a video. And this time, rather than take the video with a camera, I'm going to actually take the video right within the app itself where it says take photo or video. Again, you only have this option if you've got the latest version of Pages. So if you don't, just use the camera, no big deal. I'm going to click take photo or video. Then I click on video. Press the record button. You can see the resolution isn't nearly as good as the camera itself. So I've got the option to retake the video or use the video. I'm going to just say use video. And just like the picture, I can resize it however I want. I can drag it down and put it wherever I want it to go. Okay, so at this point we've got a picture and we've got a video and we've got some text. You know how to do all the basics with your file. So let's go ahead and click on it rather than blank landscape for the name. Let's go ahead and add our name to this. So we'll call this Folks Demo. Your teacher will give you instruction on how she wants you to name it, but probably going to need your first and last name in there, bare minimum. So I say done. And now I've got a name for my file. It's always good to name it before you share it, right? So now I'm going to click on the little share button, third over in the top right. Okay, it's got the little arrow in the box. And I'm going to say I want to send a copy. Now, you have to refer to your teacher's instructions here. If she's going to open it or he's going to open it on their desktop computer where they only have access to Microsoft Office and Adobe Reader, then you'd want to go with a Word version or PDF. If they're going to open it on their iPad so that they get full functionality, including the ability to play back videos right there within the app itself, the only way to do that is by sending a Pages version. So now it says, how do you want to send this? And I'm going to say mail. And assuming you've got your Gmail already set up, this should work just fine. Okay, so your from is going to show your lampasasisd.org account, and then you would type in the teacher's name. Make sure that it's spelled correctly. You know, if it pulls up right away, most likely it's used the address book and it will work just fine. If it doesn't pull up, make sure that you type out the entire thing and it's perfect, otherwise it's not going to come through. So you can see it pre-fills the subject line with the name of the file. So you might want to add some details to this. Here's our field trip. So once you have put in your field trip journal or whatever the subject line you're supposed to, then you're going to go ahead and click Send in the top right hand corner. Okay, so I've sent this to myself just as if I was the teacher to see how the teacher would receive it and open it. So as you can see, it shows as an attachment. Click once to download it. Then click again to open it in Pages. And either it will open the file immediately or it will add it to the documents list for you to open after the fact.